Come on, get that suitcase packed and get down here, Miss Hopkins.
Why are you in such a hurry?
Then we gotta go, that's all.
What happened between you and Richard? What'd you do to him? They said that Richard was in room 435. You think it's okay if I just go right in?
No, why don't you wait for permission, right?
Hey, come on, will you? When a guy gets hit like Richard did, he's gonna lose some blood. Doesn't mean a thing.
Excuse me, I'm Dr. Travis. How is he? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm afraid you'll have to speak to the doctor. He should be on in a couple of minutes.
Why don't you hang loose? I'm gonna make a phone call.
So, I've decided that when you come home tomorrow, that I'm going to be waiting for you as your wife. We'll just start all over again. A new marriage, and it'll be real this time.
Pat, I don't know what to say, except, as I told you, I've been doing some thinking on my own. Pat, you know how much I love you. And that hasn't changed. I don't think it ever will. And all the time that I've been back, trying to take stock of my life, of our lives, that's been the overriding consideration for me.
You're taking an awfully long time to say yes.
It's because I'm trying to explain something, and I'm doing a lousy job of it.
Well, you mean you just haven't made up your mind yet, right?
No, I've managed to reach a decision. The thing is, Pat, it's very different from yours. This isn't easy to explain, Pat. You remember when we first met back in New York 13 years ago? I was more or less the aggressor in the relationship, wasn't I?
I thought of the one really aggressive.
Yeah, but I was the one who pushed for the marriage. I mean, I was the one who knew that you were pregnant by another man and still wanted to adopt Brian and raise him as my own son.
Yes, that's true, and I could never thank you enough for that.
You don't have to. He was reward enough in himself. But Pat, the point I'm trying to make, if just be patient with me, is that after I resigned from the agency and came back to Landview, I really put a crimp into your plans because you had built a life for yourself which didn't include me.
But Paul, that wasn't your fault. It was circumstance.
Yeah, but the point is that was the situation. Except that I couldn't admit it. I mean, I fought it every way I could. And I convinced myself that if we could only live together again as man and wife, then all the old feelings would just come back, and that the old relationship would still be intact. Except that old relationship, which I valued so much and which I thought was such a happy one, had one huge basic flaw in it. Namely that you never really loved me, Pat.
Paul,
Look, I'm not saying that in a reproachful way. I mean, I know that you were always grateful to me, as you've just said. I know that you liked me. And I know that we had a companionship together that, if you didn't examine it too closely, could easily pass for love.
I'm really not so sure how important that word is.
Love?
Well, in the sense that you mean it. I mean, flaming passion and deathless promises. Besides, we're a little past that, aren't we?
I am talking about a deep, overwhelming need that two people have for each other. A need that goes into every facet of the relationship so that neither one of them can imagine or contemplate the thought of life without the other.
It's a very idealized concept of love. Tell me, do you know of anyone who has that?
Maybe Becky and Joe?
Maybe, but then, they are the exception to almost every rule, aren't they? Well, if you're saying that we shouldn't stay together because we haven't experienced that flaming, earth-shaking, romantic feeling,
All I am saying is that somewhere there has to be a guy who could make you feel that way. And I don't think I'm that guy. And I will always be grateful to you for trying to make this thing work, for staying by me through all these bad periods, but I think it's time I let you off the hook, Pat. So when I walk out of here, I think we should both go our separate ways.
What did you do to Richard?
Who said I'd done anything to him?
That's where you went. You went over to his place, and that's why you're in a hurry to get out of here. Because you've done something to him.
I just taught him a lesson, that's all. Now stop your sniveling. Your boyfriend's all right. He might have a couple of bumps and bruises when he tries to get out of bed.
If you hurt him, I'm going to kill you.
Boy, Becky, what do you want to do? Darling, you got to understand, I was just trying to protect you. Anyway, he had fair warning. I told him. You told him.
I told you he wasn't going to listen.
Yeah. You were right about that, all right. It was a pretty good fight there for a while, though.
What do you mean for a while?
Well, what is keeping that woman? Miss Hopkins, you get on here with that suitcase right now.
Okay, look, Sergeant. You tell your men to keep looking because that guy should be considered armed and dangerous. If you want me, I'm at Landview Hospital. Bye-bye.
Doctor, how is he?
I'll know better when I see the x-rays. Fractured skull? Maybe, or concussion. Can't tell. Plus which we got a couple of cracked ribs on this side. It's a possibility of a collapsed lung.
Oh, God.
Look, miss, none of this is necessarily that dangerous. We just have to watch his vital signs, observe him. I'll know a lot more in an hour or two. Excuse me.
Oh, Richard.
Hey, come on, look. You know, you get a young, healthy guy like that to the hospital alive, and they pull him through every time.
What'd you hear from headquarters?
Oh, well, nothing. They haven't found Luke Jackson yet. They went to his hotel room. It was empty.
And Becky's disappeared, too?
Yeah, I guess so.
Mr. Wolek, have you tried Mrs. Hopkins?
Who?
She's Becky's landlord at the boarding house. If anybody would know where Becky is, Mrs. Hopkins would.
Well, where does she live? I mean, you know, we could check it out.
This and the assumption that my feelings haven't changed for you.
Have they?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know that I certainly feel differently about you now than I did 13 years ago.
Naturally, you would. And when two people have shared as much as we have, particularly these past few months, the shared experience isn't a substitute for love either.
Ingram was saying that word again.
Well, isn't that what we're talking about? I mean, isn't it all we're talking about?
But to have gone through so much, to simply say goodbye.
It could never be goodbye.
Oh, and I don't understand. I thought you just said that
we should dissolve our marriage. Right. Because in the first place, it's never really been a true marriage. And more importantly, we should do it because then we could both be free to decide what we want to do next.
Have you decided?
It's taken me this long to get this far.
Why didn't it work for us?
It was never meant to. I just fooled myself and talked myself into believing it. Well, I think you better get out of here. We both have some plans to make.
I'm going to be back tomorrow before they let you go.
You hear me, woman? Let's keep it up. Never mind your luggage. We're going to get out of here right now. We send for your stuff later.
I left it under the step. I was going to go bring it upstairs later on. Where are we going?
I don't know yet.
Then what's the big hurry?
The hurry is, I see there's a hurry.
What's the matter? You afraid Richard's going to come after you?
That boy ain't gonna be going after anything for a long while. I guarantee you that. Becky Lee, I'm gonna tell you we got to get on the move. Now, come on.
If you hurt him, come on.
Now, you listen to me. We got to get something straight. You are my wife. You're going to do what I tell you to do, and what I do for you is for your own good. Now, you got that? Come on.
Can I go say goodbye to Miss Hopkins?
You can drop a postcard from the first place we stop at and give her a telephone call or something.
Hello, Becky. Are you Luke Jackson?
Who wants to know?
Yes, he is.
Police officers. We'd like to talk to you, Mr. Jackson.
About what?
May we come in? Look, Mr. Jackson, we can do this the easy way, or if you want, we can all go down to headquarters. What's it gonna be?
Ray's candidate has plans of his own.
How much do you want to win?
Enough to go tomorrow if I had to. Under one condition only. Jill comes with me.
And on All My Children.
You haven't changed your mind about that motel idea, have you?
No, I do want to spend the night with you, Wally. There's nothing I want more.
Ryan's Hope, All My Children. Every weekday on ABC.
What's it gonna be, Mr. Jackson?
Officer, you want to go talk in the living room?
Is that all right with you?
Have I got a choice?
I told you what your choice was.
Well, officer, I don't know what all this is about. My wife and I, we're just getting ready to...
You know a
leave
man
town.
by the name of Richard Abbott?
Oh, yeah. I met him once or twice. Why?
Well, you were seen coming out of his apartment. That's, 3B at 21 River Street at 7 p.m. tonight.
Now, who told you that?
We have a witness who can identify you, Mr. Jackson.
Well, yeah, I did go over there and see Abbott.
Oh, yeah? What for?
I don't know what this all got to do about anything,
Is
officer.
Richard going to be all right?
After you came out of the apartment, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Abbott was found unconscious and severely beaten.
Oh, God.
You're under arrest for felonious assault.
And you better hope that that isn't upgraded to murder. Cuff him and frisk him.
Hello, Jackson, if anything happens to him!
Vinnie, take him downtown, book him, read him his rights. Get him out of here!
Where is he? Where's Richard?
He's at Lambview Hospital.
Is he going to be all right?
I don't know. When I left him, he was on possibility of a fractured skull. Hey, look, Becky, I'm driving down. If you want, I can take you there.
Thank you. You think they'll let me see him?
I don't know. When I left him, he was unconscious. He's in critical condition.
I'd like a little club soda with lime, please.
Sure. Go.
I have an idea. Why don't you create a situation in which you get Melinda to admit what she's done and let a tape recorder be your witness?
Never gonna work, Dorian.
What?
Whatever you're cooking up.
What makes you think I'm cooking up anything?
Well, I figure at any given point during the day, it's a good chance you're cooking up something. Have the usual, Chaz.
Right.
So, tell me, how's your private little Watergate coming?
Aren't we very cryptic this evening?
Did you get anybody to bug your library?
It's really none of your business.
Oh, I know that, but I'm just curious. Thank you, Charley. Well, shall we play 20 questions?
Marco, please, I am not very amused.
Huh? Well, obviously, you're sitting here doing something. Hey, I got it. I got it. What you're going to do is you're going to get that little fellow, what's his name, Mr. Herbst, your accountant. You're going to get him to cheat on your income taxes for you, and then when you get caught, you're going to blame him.
Oh, it's very ingenious.
Yeah, well, I think so.
It's just not correct. You see, Marco, I think maybe I should give you a little bit of advice, just in case you should get in a higher tax bracket, which I seriously doubt.
Don't count on it, Dorian.
You see, the taxpayer is responsible for everything in his return and not the accountant who made it up for him.
Is that a fact?
Now, that is a fact.
Hey, I still got 19 questions left, though. Does it have anything to do with your uncharacteristic behavior tonight?
What do you mean, uncharacteristic?
Look, I come in here, you're hanging out, having a drink all by yourself.
Is there a law against that?
Dorian, you do not hang out. You poise, ready to leap. You coil, ready to strike, but you do not hang out. You are never, as they say, in repose. Well, hardly ever.
Are you having a good time this evening?
Yeah, I am, as a matter of fact. I got it. You're waiting for your beloved sister Melinda to arrive. You know, word's out around town that you and she haven't been getting along too well since she became engaged to Peter, your ex. I guess I know what you're up to. But I have a feeling, Dorian, that this time out, Peter and Melinda are not going to get stuck in your little web. You're something, though. You never give up, do you?
Do you think you could excuse us?
Us?
Yes, I would like to have a private conversation with my sister. Belinda!
Charley, if,